guys, it's James from Winter Insight here, and today I'm here to do a review on a brand called Superfeet, who have sent me 3 of their best-selling insoles for winter sports stores. So, I know the guys at Superfeet very well. It's no secret to a few people that know me. I used to work with the brand a little bit, so my understanding on insoles and the need for insoles across the board is quite good, I think. Certainly better than some, worse than others for sure, no doubt. But alliances, loyalties aside, insoles in general are really important for your ski boots, and there are so many brands that do some great products. Superfeet are one of those. They sent me their top 3, so I'm going to talk you through their top 3 products and kind of why they're beneficial for skiing, and not just that, but everyday use, but real focus on skiing, snowboarding and all things winter sports. So first things first, let's start with they've sent me 2 custom insoles and 1 trim to fit. Now, Superfeet are famous for their trim to fit insoles. They've been doing them for many years. Essentially, you buy them in a box. They come by shoe size, give or take, and then you put them in your shoe once you've trimmed them, and they make your shoes fit so much better. As a basic concept, all feet have shape, and by adding some shape underneath your foot inside your shoe, which is usually flat, generally makes for a nicer ride. So whether you're running, skiing, snowboarding, ski touring, ski cross, whatever it is, then you're going to want something in there to just help with that transition from side to side inside your ski boot, walking shoe, etc. So that's the basic concept. This trim to fit carbon is their thinnest insole they make. Super wafer thin, which is great if you haven't got a lot of space inside your boots or shoes, etc. I've used these in some ski touring boots before where they were really tight inside and didn't have a lot of instep height, so it gave me that extra volume I needed. This is made with Evolite, this cap, which is why it's super strong but very thin. It's a polycarbonate that's a kind of proprietary technology to Superfeet themselves. So yeah, it has an element of carbon fibre built into that, so that polycarbonate there. Hence why that is called carbon, and that is wafer thin, trim to fit insole, and also nice ventilation in there as well. So you'll see they use this in sometimes cycling, running, but also for ski touring where it gets really hot in there, but you want a good stable insole, something like that's great. So that's the Superfeet carbon. Then they've sent me 2 of their custom insoles, and I'll start with the more generic one, which is their custom carbon all season thin. So a bit of a mouthful maybe, but there we are, custom carbon all season thin. So this custom carbon all season thin is essentially a custom carbon insole that's great for all seasons, and it's quite thin, so it doesn't take up too much space in your shoes. Slightly thicker than the trim to fit carbon over here, but not much so, okay? Still a relatively low volume insole, and certainly as thick or thinner than what comes out of most shoes. The benefit to this one is it's customizable, so it comes in 2 parts. So if you do order this online, you're going to be a bit disappointed because it's going to come in 2 parts, and then you're going to get a couple of bags that come with it, and all you're going to be able to do is maybe super glue these together and make a couple of balloons. So that's not going to be much use to you. So these have to be made in store. You have to go and see a specialist that has a Superfeet custom centre, which can be in the form of a chair or their fit pod. So this gets heated up, and this is the same material as that cap off of the trim to fit. It's very rigid. It's a polycarbonate, so it's called Evolite, but when hot it goes very pliable. So what happens is heat this up in an oven, and then you might be able to see on here that there's some grooves just in the insole, and this cap just sits into those grooves once heated up and sits kind of perfectly there. And then what would happen is this would then be vacuumed to the bottom of your feet. So when this gets vacuumed to your foot, this hot material just kind of encapsulates all around the bottom of your foot, which just gives a much better sensation and a more intimate feeling in terms of contact with the foot. So that's the custom carbon all season thin. There's great kind of really for ski boots, touring boots, walking boots, everything where maybe you want a custom insole but there's not a huge amount of space in there. Really good option. So that's that. And then the last one, which is the main one that I wanted to talk about, is being that it's winter specific, is the custom carbon winter, which is here. Okay, so again, relatively self-explanatory. It's custom, it's made of carbon, and it's designed for winter sports. The reason this one is designed purely for winter sports, it's not designed to be run on, okay, so it's not designed to be flexed. You can ski tour on it because the boot doesn't flex, it's got a rigid sole. Anything with a flexible sole that's designed for more walking, running, really not for this insole. The snowball boot is fine, but anything much more flexible than that, it's not really designed for that. So, what's this one? This one has a slightly thicker cap than the other two. Same material, it's still that Everlight material. So when you heat it up, this goes very pliable and moldable, and then helps obviously vacuum your foot and make it a more intimate fit, more customizable. This one has two little holes on it. So when this is heated up, you've got two little locator pins on here, and you'll pop that on there nice and hot, and then that'll be vacuumed to the bottom of your foot again. So the other main difference with this one is, if you can kind of see already, is this nice red top sheet which is made of Outlast. Outlast is a material that helps retain heat from the body and then release it when it's needed. So it's a nice little feature. Also, this is quite soft and nice to touch as well, so it feels nice and cozy inside your ski boot. You've got the toe bar here, which will mould if you don't need it, it will flatten away. But if you do, it just stops you cramping your toes and creasing them like that inside the boot. It helps relax them a little bit, which I think is always nice in a ski boot. And then you've got this foil forefoot here as well, which just helps reflect the heat inside the toes of the boot as well, so it keeps you look nice and snug in there. So that's the custom carbon all winter from Superfeet. All of these insoles, from the trim to fit up to the custom, range between £40 and £70. Custom can only be fitted in store, and trim to fit you can buy on Superfeet's website or any other retailer's website as well. One last thing I will say is I brought this cut out with me because I think it shows the benefit of generally of insoles in ski boots. It's that you can see here that inside a ski boot, when you've got that shape and that formation, your foot is just not going to be searching for all the different pressure points, the front of the boot, etc. It's in a more consistent position inside there. So that means that edge to edge control is going to be a lot more accurate, because every time you're moving to the left or to the right, the inside edge, the outside edge, your foot's not having to roll across a flat base inside the boot and then engage with the boot. It's all a lot more in tandem with itself. So if you don't use an insole in your ski boots, I personally think there's something wrong with you, but you should certainly consider it. If you've tried it and you don't like it and you prefer it without, hey, no problem. Everybody should try it, and if you don't get on with it, that's absolutely down to you. But if you've never tried an insole in your ski boot, then you need to try one. And Superfeet and some other companies do it too. They have a 60-day money-back guarantee on all their products. So if you haven't thought about it and you think there is a problem that could be solved, give it a try. And if it isn't for you, you can get your money back. But if it is, then now you know that something can solve it. So anyway, they're the 3 insoles from Superfeet. Thanks to the guys at Superfeet for sending them over to me. And I'll see you next time with another review. See you soon. Thanks for watching another review by Winter Insight. If there's any products you'd like us to review, please let us know by dropping us a comment below or dropping us an email. If you're a brand and you'd like us to review your product, please drop us a mail and we'll happily look into that for you and get back to you. Thanks again for watching.